Hello, children. Welcome to Standard 8th English 2.4, The Three Visions for India, Part 2. So, let's start with the paragraph. Let's begin with the next paragraph. My second vision for India is development. For 50 years, we have been a developing nation. It is time to see ourselves as a developed nation. We are among the top 5 nations of the world in terms of GDP, that is gross domestic product. We have 10% growth rate in most areas. Our poverty levels are falling and our achievements are being globally recognized today. Yet, we lack the self-confidence to see ourselves as a developed nation, self-reliant and self-assured. Isn't this right? After speaking about the first vision for India, according to Dr. Kalam, it was freedom according to him. Now, next vision for India is development. So he says we have been a developing nation since the time we have attained independence, and that's for 50 years now. So it is time for ourselves to look at as a developed nation, and also at the same time we should allow other nations also should look at us amongst the developed one. And for this he says he puts his argument, he supplements this argument by applauding the massive strides that our country has taken. We have 10% growth rate in most of the areas. Our poverty level is falling down and our achievements are being globally recognized now. Yet, when we look at ourselves, one thing is missing, and that is self confidence. We lack that self confidence to look at ourselves as a developed nation, self reliant as a developed nation, and self assured. So, isn't this right? He asks. For proving his point furthermore, he says, India must stand up to the world. He says, I have a third vision, that India must stand up to the world or no one will respect us. Only strength respects strength. We must be strong not only as a military power, but also as an economic power. Both must go hand in hand. So to prove his point, he says, he has third vision that India must stand up to the world. India must stand up confidently, must progress confidently, and gain that self-respect. Once we are self-respected, then every other nation also will respect us. To prove his point, he says only strength respects strength. So he says we must be strong enough as a military power, and along with military power we need to stand having that economical power also. So he says both military power and economic power should progress hand in hand. As he has rightly told about Indians, that we lack self confidence. We have everything, but because of lacking self confidence, we cannot stand in front of others. But this is the need of the time that India must stand up to the world. So he says, why are we in India so embarrassed to recognize our own strength, our achievements? We are such a great nation. We have so many amazing success stories, but we refuse to acknowledge them. Why? We are the second largest producer of wheat in the world. We are the second largest producer of rice. We are the first in milk production. We are number one in remote sensing satellites. Look at Dr. Sudarshan. He has transferred the tribal village into a self-sustaining, self-driving unit. There are millions of such achievements, but our media is obsessed only with bad news, failures, and disasters. So he says, why are we in India so embarrassed to recognize our own strength? Whereas other countries, frankly speaking, they have nothing, but still they just propaganda their own things. Then we are such a great nation. We have so many good stories, inspiring stories, which should come up, and at the same time, we should be ready to recognize them. We should be ready to acknowledge them. Most of us, we don't know that we are the second largest producer of wheat in the world. We are the second largest producer of rice. We are the first in milk productions. We are number one in remote sensing satellites. What is that which makes us be quiet and behind, keep us behind? Now look at Dr. Sudarshan. He has transferred the tribal village into a self sustaining, self driving unit. How was it possible for him? Without having self confidence, is it possible? Definitely not. There are millions of such achievements, inspiring stories, but our media is obsessed only to show us bad news, failures, and disasters. And what we look at it, we think about it, and that is the reason we become that. So it is time for us to even recognize and acknowledge our achievements, acknowledge our strengths, then only we will turn up and stand in front of other nations. Dr. Kalam says further, do we not realize that self respect comes with self reliance? What do you mean by self respect, children? Where we have self dignity, we have self respect, respect towards our own self. That comes only through self reliance. Here, self reliance is independent, being independent in every aspect of life. So he says, do we not realize that only self respect comes through self reliance? Once we become independent, only through that self independentness it comes, self respect comes. So he says, I was in Tel Aviv once, and that I was reading the Israeli newspaper. It was the day after a lot of attacks and bombardments and deaths had taken place. The Hamas had struck, but the front page of the newspaper had the picture of a Jewish gentleman who, in 5 years, had transformed his desert land into an orchid farm and granary. It was this inspiring picture that everyone woke up to. The gory details of killing, bombardments, and deaths were inside the newspaper, buried among other news. Isn't it possible in our country too? So Dr. Kalam says that once he was in Tel Aviv, where he was reading the Israeli newspaper. And it was the day prior to that day, that is on the previous day, there were a lot of attacks, bombardments, and even deaths had taken place. But when he looked the front page of the newspaper while reading it, he saw the picture of a Jewish gentleman and how he transformed his desert land into an orchid farm and granary. It was this beautiful news. With this, the people woke up. Instead of waking up knowing about the gory details of killing, bombardments, and deaths. So, the news, which news to be put forward, which news to be given more importance, it is all in the hands of these newspapers and publishment of newspapers. So, it is our media which has to decide now whether to put bad news and failures and disasters in front of the, like that is on the front page, or to provide a beautiful, positive, inspiring news with which people will start their day and will be positive throughout the day. So it's all about our attitude, children. It's all about which things we look up to. There are positive as well as negative things. So now we as a nation have to have self respect, which comes through self reliance. So, Dr. Kalam wants Indians to generate values of self respect and self reliance, and it can happen only through presenting ourselves confidently, only through paying our attention to all positive things around us, only through concentrating ourselves or focusing ourselves on working hard, representing ourselves confidently. Only through this it is going to happen. So further he says in the last paragraph, I want to live in a developed India. Another question: why are we as a nation so obsessed with foreign things? We want foreign TVs, we want foreign shirts, we want foreign technology. Why this obsession with everything imported? Do we not realize that self respect comes with self reliance? He says, I was in Hyderabad giving this lecture when a 14-year-old girl asked me for my autograph. I asked her what her goal in life is. She replied, I want to live in a developed India. For her, you and I will have to build this developed India, you must proclaim. So beautifully, he has given the example also, children, that there is always something in us that we are so much obsessed with foreign things. We want foreign TV, foreign shirt, foreign like imported things. Why can't we have pride about the things that are produced in our own country? Don't we know that self respect comes only with self reliance? Why do we need to be dependent on the foreign things, whereas we ourselves are much capable of producing, manufacturing all the things, goods of very good quality? So he further says that when he was in Hyderabad giving this lecture, there was a girl, 14-year-old girl. She came to Dr. Kalam asking for his autograph. So while giving autograph, Dr. Kalam asked her that what is the goal in her life. Then the beautiful answer she replied, and that was she wants to live in a developed India. So children, this should be the goal of every young citizen, every young child of India. And this goal, this aim, everyone can have it, children. So at your age, Dr. Kalam says, if you really set up your goal to live your life in a developed India, then to achieve that goal, it should be everyone like you, I, and everyone will have to build this developed India. It's not going to come up, it's not going to happen on its own. We have to work hard with self reliance, with consistency in work, having self confidence in ourselves, showing our potential, standing up in front of the world. Then only it is going to have such a wonderful developed India we must proclaim about it. So in conclusion, Dr. Kalam urges all the Indian citizens to come together, share his 3 visions for building a free, self-reliant and developed India. So children, we have completed the lesson 3 visions for India in part 1 and part 2. Now you need to read the lesson along with glossary words for better understanding of the lesson. And also you need to complete warming up activities as well as English workshop activities that are provided before and after the lesson in the course book. Thank you.